Well, it's a sad time for the community of Newlands in Sophia Town, and specifically the community and congregants of the Eagle Christian Center, where a tragedy unfolded on Friday evening when the guest pastor, Dwayne Gordon, was preaching at a service as part of their restoration conference when armed gunmen stormed this church using this small gate behind me and robbed the congregants of their cell phones and belongings as well as cash before firing several shots that claimed the life of Pastor Dwayne Gordon and injured another congregant. We've spoken to some of the congregants who were in the church at the time, and Bishop Randall Kutsia had this to tell us.
Okay, the second guy got shot here. So you can see he got shot in the chest from a upward position. The bullet came right out of his back and ricocheted off the wall here. This is the second guy that got shot. Usually my chair, I sat right behind our senior pastor. So my chair was like this. So when the prophet came, he came directly here. If you saw the camera angle, the camera was on the table here and it was standing high. So it was on a downward position. So the prophet came just right here in front of me. Okay? Our senior pastor was sitting there, as you can see on the video footage. Our senior pastor was sitting here, and then I was sitting here. When they said go on the floor, I just slid off my chair, and the prophet just sat here directly next to me.
So he was seated here while you were seated on that chair?
Yes,
okay.
I was seated here. So after all the commotion, they were starting to collect phones already. So I don't know if my what's her name was obscured, because he could have shot any of the two of us, because we were both looking at him. He was almost standing where this man is standing, but on the carpet. He was standing on the carpet where the mark is there. Yeah, so, and then he moved a little bit forward. So he was standing here by the fan. And then, while the prophet was looking at him, he just lifted a gun to our direction. So we were in the range of fire. Our prophet was also here at the back because they were handling the camera. Yeah, so when he shot this direction where we were. And then I personally thought he shot me, because I felt if I wasn't shot or there was any blood or warmth coming out of my body. But like a few seconds later, I heard the prophet actually breathing loud, and we couldn't even attend to him because this guy was still standing here with a gun. And a few moments later, he told the pastor, because the pastor was stretching his hand to pray for the prophet, because he was still on his seat. And then the guy said, "Don't pray. I don't want you to pray for him." So he pointed out our pastor, but that I couldn't see because I was after the shot went down. I lay directly down under the seat here. And then when we got back up, we discovered the prophet wasn't shot in his chest; he was actually shot in his throat. We tried to help him get back. When they came in, he took out the gun and then he cocked it and put one in the chamber, and then he shot at the camera. That's why the camera fell. So that's one of the first shots that went off. The second guy he had a black cap. You can't remember the faces, so obviously you would explain what attire he had on. This guy had a black cap on. He walked just past, and then he lifted his hand. He shot in the air. Okay, shot in the air. One in the roof and one in the wall there, because when we came back, we were looking where were they shooting.
The church is still questioning as to what the exact motive of this tragedy was, but the church, which is run by Pastor Mervyn and his wife Maria Camphor, claim that it was a botched robbery from what they understand. But a very tragic time for the community of Newlands as well as the Eagle Christian Center, who are grieving and mourning at this point in time. For Eyewitness News, I'm Oren Singh in Newlands.